In today's video, we're going to look at how we can create fake sunlight using artificial lighting. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Dan and I make videos about all sorts of stuff related to photography. And today we're going to look at how we can create a fake sunlight effect, and we're going to do it using really inexpensive gear. And the reason that I'm making this video is that most of the other tutorials that I've seen online that show you how to create this effect are doing so using really expensive lights, and not everyone's got access to those. And so we're not going to do that today. I'm going to show you how you can do this with gear that you may already own, but if you decide that you want to buy the stuff that I'm going to show you today, then it's not going to cost you a lot of money either. All right, so let's talk about why would we even use artificial lighting to create something that we've already got. I mean, we've got sun, so why don't we just use real sunlight? The thing about sunlight is that it doesn't always behave the way that you want it to behave. It may not be coming in at the right angle. For example, it may be that you've got a cloudy day, as we do in Sydney today. It happens to be raining, but we're still going to recreate a scene where we have artificial light that looks exactly like sunlight coming into our set. And the other thing, of course, is that the sun is constantly moving, so it becomes difficult to work because you've got a short space of time that you need to execute your shot if you're using the real sunlight. So that's why this technique works really, really well. And if done correctly, you shouldn't be able to tell the difference between real sunlight and what we're going to do today. Okay, so let's talk about the gear that we need in order to create our fake sun. So today we're going to be using a Speedlight because they're cheap, okay? Specifically, I'm using a Yongnuo branded flash, which they're famous for making flashes that look like the real Canon ones and the Nikon ones, but they're not. And they don't have all the functionality, but it doesn't matter because all we need is a fully manual mode on these flashes. So there's two functions that you're going to need in order to recreate this effect. The first one is that you need to be able to adjust the power, okay, so more light, less light. And the second thing is the zoom functionality, which allows you to zoom in the light into like a spotlight, or you can have a wide angle where you're flooding everything with light. So as long as you've got those two functions, whatever flash you're using is going to work. Next, you're going to need some triggers. These are used to fire off the flash wirelessly. So one of your triggers goes onto your camera, the other one is connected to the light itself. So now when I fire off the shutter here, then that's going to send a signal from here to here, and it's going to fire off the flash just as if the flash was mounted on the hot shoe of the camera. The next thing is a bracket of some sort to mount this onto a light stand. Okay, so fairly straightforward. We've got a light, a trigger, a mounting bracket, and then just a light stand. And finally, we're going to use this. This is CTO gel. So gels are films that you can put in front of your light to give some color to your light, because we know that sunlight, particularly when it's about to set, looks a little bit orange. So we're going to play around with this and get the right balance. We might only need one layer of it, or we might have to double it up, but we'll just play around and see what looks best. Okay, so what I've done now is I've moved my video camera behind the camera that I'm going to be using to take the photos with. This is my Canon 5D Mark IV, and the reason I've set it up like this is that it gives you full access to the back of the screen so that you can see all the settings in the camera. And this couch is going to be my subject, and hopefully this will give you some idea of how you can use this effect for both architectural or real estate photography. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take a shot using only the ambient light that is in the room. We're in manual mode. We're shooting at 1/30th of a second at f4.5 at ISO 400. So we are going to fire off a shot. Okay, so as you can see, this is just a straightforward shot. There's nothing special about it. So let's see what we can do to try and lift the quality of the shot. And we're going to do that by introducing our fake sun. So the first thing that we need to think about is light placement. Now this is pretty straightforward because the sun is always outside. So this is exactly where we're going to put our light. We're going to place it outside of this window to replicate what real sunlight would be doing if it was coming through this window. Okay, so we've got our light set up. So now we're going to take another shot. And as you can see now, we've got a very distinct beam of light coming in from the left side of the frame. And you can see it there on the cushion, on the left cushion. So it's starting to look like real sunlight. But of course, it's not selling the effect just yet because the light is too white. So now we're going to introduce that CTO gel that I showed you earlier. That's going to add a little orange to the light. Okay, so we've got our CTO on our flash. So now we're going to take another shot. And that's starting to look much, much nicer. That's actually looking like real sunlight now, but it could be a tad too bright. So what I'm gonna do is, at the moment, I've got my speed light set to half power. I'm going to set it to 1/4 power, and we're gonna try again. Okay, so we've got the flash now set to 1/4 power. So let's take another shot. And as you can see now, that's starting to look much, much better. Now it could still be a tad bit too bright. So let's try it again at 1/8 power and see what that looks like. Okay, so we've got the flash set to 1/8 power now, which is a lot lower from what we started. Okay, we started off at half power. So now we've got 1/8 power. So I'm going to fire off another shot. And now I'm really happy with that. We've got this beautiful kiss of light that's coming in from the left side, illuminating everything in the photograph, but not overpowering it. And it looks very, very realistic. In fact, if I didn't tell you that this was artificial lighting, a lot of you probably would never have picked it up. And as you can see, it's a really cool way to turn a rather boring shot into something that's a little bit more stylized and a little bit more pleasing to the eye. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to click the like button, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I know that most of you will not click the like button, but if you are one of those people that does, then thank you very much. And I just want to finish off with a question that you guys might be able to help me with. I'm thinking about starting out a podcast to complement this channel. So what I'm thinking about are small bite-sized episodes that are easy to consume, where I take on a different subject every week, just to give you my opinions or answer any questions that you guys have. So if you could let me know, what do you think? Is it a good idea, a bad idea? I'm really interested in what you guys think about this. So if you could let me know in the comments section, I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, that's everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.